Welcome to another episode of the Lancescurv Show. We are going to have a live commentary today, and many people are not able to watch this free show, this free presentation, because they might be at work. They might be somewhere where they just can't get it. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give my best shot at giving you the facts on this from my point of view. And I definitely want to be fair in what I say. I'm going to tell you something. This is a chance for people like us who are in a certain age group to be young again. This is exactly what it is. So it's an emotional thing, because Mike Tyson is a legend. Mike Tyson represents many of us. And Jake Paul, he is a man who represents the younger crowd, but at the same time, many people love to hate him because they feel as though he's disrespecting a legend in making this fight. Now, many people will argue and say that this fight is not legitimate, but it is a curiosity. And I'll agree with that. Jake Paul has masterfully promoted this event. Mike Tyson has a stigma on him. We know he's 58 years old. You know, but this is shaping up to be one of the most unique and highly anticipating boxing events in recent memory. You have real fighters out here, not to say that these guys are not, who are not making this kind of money. They're not making this kind of money at all, but still, this is an event. I'm enjoying it. We're witnessing a spectacle that bridges a gap between the golden era of heavyweight boxing and the modern age of social media stardom, set against the electrifying backdrop of the T-Mobile Arena, right? This matchup pits the legendary Mike Tyson, Iron Mike Tyson, against YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul. It's more than a fight. It's a cultural moment where the old school grit meets the new era of sports entertainment. Starting with Mike Tyson, if you don't know, the name synonymous with boxing greatness. Tyson, now 58 years old, became the youngest heavyweight champion in history at the age of 20. Do you know how long ago that was? Dominating the sport with his ferocious power and relentless aggression, known for his iconic knockouts and wild lifestyle for a time. Tyson's name still commands respect and admiration among fans and fighters alike. And despite retiring from professional boxing years ago, Tyson has kept his skills sharp through rigorous training and exhibition matches. Now, we know he's not what he used to be. We're going to find out tonight. We're going to find out tonight. I can't believe that I'm feeling adrenalized watching this, because I'm an older guy now and he represents me. You see? So in 2020, he fought against Roy Jones. But tonight, Tyson steps back into the ring, not to reclaim titles, but to remind the world of the indomitable spirit that made him a global icon. Now, on the other side of the ring is Jake Paul, a 27-year-old social media star who has made an unexpected yet impactful transition into the world of boxing. Initially, he was known for his YouTube antics and viral pranks, but Paul has worked hard to shed the label of internet celebrity and establish himself as a legitimate fighter. And that's up for question. That's up for question. We're going to see what he's made of tonight. But with victories over former UFC champions like Tyrone Woodley and Anderson Silva, Paul has demonstrated not only his power, but his ability to handle the spotlight in high stakes situations. And he's getting paid well for this. I think he's getting like 40 million and Tyson's getting 20 million. But the reason why this is such a big event is because it's Mike Tyson. Is he a ghost? Or is he still the real thing? Or is skills faded? Or, we're going to find out. You hear it in my voice. Everybody who's in our age group, I'm 61 years old. Mike Tyson is 58. I'm born in Manhattan, raised in Queens, stomping grounds in Brooklyn where Mike Tyson was raised. I have many of my good friends who live in Brooklyn, Brownsville. I know it well. So he represents something to me all through the years. And even after he bit Evander Holyfield's ear, and people hated him in that point, many people, I'm going to say it, and those of you who know me, I understood his frustration at that particular time because boxing is a dirty game. We see what we see when we see the fight and the promotion, but it's a dirty, dirty game. And I'm glad that at least he's going to get a chance to get a payday because you see, Mike Tyson made so much money. Some say 300 million, 400 million, but that's a lot of money to go through. Mike Tyson's been ripped off, been put in jail, prison rather, and I don't believe he's guilty of what they said he did. But many of us have had turbulent lives like Mike Tyson, more or less, but we came up through that time and we identified with him because he had a rage back in the day that many other people did not understand. So there's a lot of representation symbolically going on with this fight. And I'm just here just to live that moment. Now, I want to give a special shout out to Barry B. You remember, we were in my house watching Mike Tyson when he lost to Buster Douglas. We were in my house and we watched the Evander Holyfield, George Foreman fight. Both Razor Ruddock fights with Mike Tyson. That was back in 91. Of course, his loss to Buster Douglas was back in 1990. So back in the day, why this means something to me, even though I'm in Ghana, West Africa, I'm very much still there in America. I'm very much still there in my old house. I'm very much still there with a packed out house with multiple screens all over the place. We used to do it big. And I contemplated, I said, well, nobody's going to listen to me if I go on live. And this is why I went at the last minute. Now, we just finished having a phenomenal fight with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano came out so strong that there was an accidental headbutt, and Katie Taylor, they gave it to her. But this was a fight that even most fighters who are male, they couldn't have put up such a performance. This is one fight that if you don't believe in female fighting, it got a little gory with the blood. But the bottom line is the spirit, the heart. When you watch boxing, it's more than just two people, especially at the highest level. It's more than just two people throwing punches at each other. There's a backstory that when you get into the backstory, really, the fight is anticlimactic, you see, because so much is laid on the line. Now they're preparing to get ready to have Mike Tyson and Jake Paul come out. There's some commentary going on. And legally I cannot turn the fight up and broadcast it through YouTube. I can't do that or other social media platforms because I'd be grass. So hang on for a little while. Now, they're going to put the preliminary videos to hype up the fight. You see? And my thing is, I'm hyped, y'all. I get a chance to be young again. Not that I'm hung up on being young, right? But I'll take this opportunity to say, if you want to give me a follow on Twitter, subscribe to this channel. This channel is not just a boxing channel, but we talk about all different types of things. And here are my credentials. And there's yours truly. Don't let my face scare you. But you can tell it, well, as an older man, I identify with Mike Tyson. But like, share, and subscribe. You can contact me on the email there. There's my WhatsApp phone number. You can call it straight through from America. But Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X especially, you can keep in contact with me. You can reach out to me. And of course, if you choose to support the channel, it's Lancescurv Live on Cash App and PayPal. But enough of me. Let's get back to this. They're playing the video now, given the time for Mike Tyson and Jake Paul to come on out. And with this fight, it's going to be 8 2-minute rounds. Now, for me, I'm saying to myself, okay, This fight is a real sanctioned fight. This fight will go on Mike Tyson's record and Jake Paul's record if he wants to call himself a fighter, right? He does have a record, okay? He fought Tommy Fury and he lost. And people say, well, listen, Jake Paul, you fought a real fighter and you lost. The intriguing thing here about Mike Tyson is how much does he have left? He's 58 years old. So really, it's a built-in excuse. Many people will say, well, he's 58 years old. Look, we're going to know what people are going to say after the fight. But right now, in the minds of most people, he's Mike Tyson. Now, we know he had his last fight in 2005 where he was knocked out. And even back then, he said, I don't have it anymore. I'm done. And really, he was fighting for the money. But that's the story with most great fighters. We think that they're going to be great forever, and something happens, usually Father Time, or they get worn out. That's what happens. But for him to be fighting now, see, you have that older uncle arguing with that younger nephew at the barbecue. They're not going to fight, but they really don't like each other. This is what this represents. Or you have that older man who lives in a house to himself. His wife passed away, and you have those younger neighbors that they're in the garage, the driveway, playing the music loud, and you think he's a grumpy old man because he's telling you to cut the music down. This is what this represents. It's a generational thing. It's not a hate thing. It's a thing to look back and say, there's that old guy. We know he was tough back in the day. We know he was strong back in the day. We know he's an OG. But you know what? This is my time now. See, so this is what a lot of the younger folks are saying. This is one for the ages. And the age gap, forget it. The age gap, y'all. It is just so much. I mean, this would not be, this is sanctioned, but this is an event. And so they're going to wear 14-ounce gloves, right? Which would make it easier for Jake Paul to take Mike Tyson's punches. But what if Mike Tyson doesn't have the same punching power? But I'm quite sure Jake Paul is the one who favored that. Imagine this was 8-ounce gloves, smaller gloves that you can feel the punches more in. But it's going to be 2-minute rounds. Now, the thing I was thinking about is this going to favor Mike Tyson or is this going to favor Jake Paul? I don't know. We're going to find out, but here it is. This could favor Mike Tyson because if he doesn't have any semblance of the stamina that he used to have, well, 3 minutes, let me tell you something. When you're boxing, when you're fighting, that last minute in a 3-minute round could be torture. For anybody who is fighting, who doesn't know how to fight or who isn't trained, but even for a professional athlete and even for one who is 58 years old, to me, it could favor Mike Tyson. He doesn't have to fight as long. He can preserve his tank, preserve the energy that he has in his tank. But now it's 8 rounds, not 12. And remember back in the day when it used to be where it was 15 rounds, you're not going to see that here. In a fight now, you have 12 rounds in a typical professional fight, 12 rounds, 3 minutes. If you don't count the round in between, right? 12 times 3 is 36. That's 36 minutes of fighting. Well, if it's 8 2-minute rounds, it's 16 minutes of actual fighting. 20 minutes less of actual fighting. So as we watch this, we're going to have to realize that this is going to go by pretty quick. 16 minutes of actual fighting, right? So 8 times 3 is 21. It's going to take 21 minutes if it goes the distance to find out who's going to win. If it doesn't go the distance, well, guess what? Well, Mike Tyson is 58 years old. And Jake Paul, many people don't consider him to be a real fighter, but the bottom line is he's younger, 30 years, basically, and he's well trained. Now, here's the part that is my opinion. I don't want anybody to come after me for slander, even though I'm a little guy, even though not many people in the world know me, only in my corner and only in my community. But there's no way with training the way it goes. And yes, I'm going to have to flash to say my background. This is me back in 1982. I used to be an amateur bodybuilder. I won a national title, the natural teenage Mr. America with no steroids, old fuzzy pictures. So as a person who did some type of, I wouldn't say athletics, but physical training, being around guys who did different things in the gym, I still remember what it's like, although I'm not a fighter. But from what I'm seeing, the change in Jake Paul, this brother's jacked. He's jacked. What I mean by jacked, not just jacked because he has muscles on his body, but he's jacked. I feel that he's on some type of performance enhancement substance. You can train naturally. You can use all the supplements, but there's something different about his look. When you look at his head, compare his face. Training does not affect your face like that. His whole skull is bigger. Of course, he's shot up in weight. He's about approximately 228 pounds at the weigh-in. Maybe he weighs more, maybe less. When you fight as a heavyweight, you don't have to cut down in weight and then go up later on. Because you know a lot of the lighter weight fighters, like welterweight, lightweight, they might be bigger walking around, but they cut the weight and they're almost emaciated to make the weight. And if the weigh-in is a day or two before the fight, they go on and eat and put on the weight and the water weight, and they might be fighting 20 or 30 pounds heavier. But with heavyweights, you don't have to do that. So that's going to be very interesting to see. The one thing, when I see Mike Tyson, you know, I'm thinking about the 1980s version, the 1990s version. And of course, I feel that as a professional athlete, he may have been a little jacked, you know, back in the day. But I know that there's no drug testing for this particular fight. So if they're both using something, then so be it, because they're both using something, even though I do not believe that one as an athlete should do that. But this is a money-making event. They're making a lot of money. To the people who are promoting the fight, making the money from the fight, they don't care. And the sports, how could I put it? These groups that sanction the fight, they don't care either, because you know what? Somebody's getting some money beneath the table, under the table. But they're doing a lot of talking right now. I'm looking at it. Andre Ward, what's this guy? Cedric the Entertainer, I believe it is. He's there talking. I saw Shaq. And it's a big event. And people say, is this bad for boxing? I'm a hardcore boxing fan. As a kid, my father took me to see Muhammad Ali fighting Joe Frazier. That was back in March of 1971. Okay. I was 7 years old, about to turn 8 years old. So boxing has been in my blood for a very long time. I usually like to talk about boxing with friends of mine, but since we have the internet and we can do these type of live commentaries, there's a whole bunch of people doing those right now. But I had to decide to the last minute whether I was going to do this or not. I said, well, we're going to make this happen. Now, you know, they're going to stretch this out. Mike Tyson is already gloved up. I saw it during the female fight that they had earlier. He's in the dressing room. His son, which was a wonderful touch. I didn't realize that was his son who interviewed him. And Mike Tyson, after he said his words, he kissed his son on the cheek. That was a very touching thing. And that's the thing that's going to bring more emotionalism into this fight when you see Mike Tyson in the ring. Now, technically, it's not going to destroy Mike Tyson's legacy if he loses. He will still be loved. At times, many people who love him now, back in the day, they hated him. They didn't understand him. His story is so iconic. His story is classic. And this adds on something more to his story and to his life. Could you imagine, years from now, they've made Mike Tyson movies before, but with this addition onto his record and the story behind it, it almost brings tears to your eyes. This is something that is very special as far as an event is concerned. I don't care if the fight sucks. I don't care if I want Mike Tyson to win, but if he loses, this doesn't do anything, in my opinion, to tarnish his legacy. For those of us who grew up alongside Mike Tyson in the same age group, and for me to come up in the same city to understand the flavor of every fiber of his being. We all know the Mike Tysons in the world, in our lives, who had maybe different stories, who maybe didn't make it in life, who may have been in prison, who may have been killed, who may have been locked up forever, or just a guy who worked a regular job but had a very emotional, phenomenal story that the world would never see. Mike Tyson represents that. So by default, if you're from New York City, by default, if you're in that age group, and you don't have to be, you can be a younger Mike Tyson fan who looked at the clips of his fights, but the fights really, think about it. Muhammad Ali is known as the greatest. Mike Tyson will tell you that. They have two different types of stories. They're neck and neck, but Muhammad Ali had his dealings outside of the ring when he couldn't fight for 3.5 years because he refused to go into the armed services, right? And his religion and what he stood up for. It toward the end, and not even toward the end, but people began to love Muhammad Ali when they didn't understand him. But isn't it that way? Isn't it that way in life? When you know people who knew of you maybe years before, and they admit to you, take, for example, in a relationship, whether you're a female, whether you're a male, and you get with somebody who you really fall in love with or like, or maybe it's lust, I don't know. But they admit to you, you know, when I first saw you, I couldn't stand you. When I first saw you, I could never see myself with you. But it's something that when there's more of your character displayed, or they begin to see you in a different light and maybe understand who you are, the love begins to flow. Mike Tyson has said some things, trust and believe. Mike Tyson has insulted people, bit people's ears off, told female interviewers that he look, I'm going to be decent on this one, that if you want to interview from me, you better, go to BJ's. Now, BJ's, the store, but we're not talking about the store. For those who are not in America, he was requiring oral attention. But the bottom line is he was hurting. Now, when you get a peek into his life, just like I said, if you hated him back in the day, even if you don't love him, you understand him a bit more. When you gotta understand what it's like. I mean, did the guy have a life? At one point, 12 years old, 11 years old, 13 years old, he's robbing people. He's going home to his apartment where his mother is, but nobody says it directly, but his mother was prostituting. And he had to see that. When he was a young kid, he said this on his one-man show, I believe it was, that a dude might see him driving by in a car and force him to perform acts on the man. He got beat up a lot. But the story that made him who he was is when this other bully in the neighborhood took one of his pigeons, because he had a pigeon coop on top of the building, snapped off the head of the pigeon and threw it at him. Could you imagine? Like, we go home when we're kids, for the most part, we may have a dysfunctional family. Most of us have dysfunctional families, more or less, but not like that. Back in the day, you say something about somebody's mother, you're going to die. Those are fighting words. But imagine you go home and your mother's a prostitute and men are coming out of there. You got to hear this and see this. What does this do to the psyche of a young man who never felt a home, or what a home felt like? See, when we see people in the street, we assume that they're going home to a nice home. Doesn't necessarily have to be a big house or this expensive whatever, but something where there's some sense of emotional balance, where wisdom is shared. Mike Tyson didn't ever have that back then. So we have to say, it is a miracle for him to have a wife that sticks by him and children. I don't know if he's messed around or whatnot, but you know what? I'm not saying I condone it. Look, Mike Tyson, as he is now as a man, is not supposed to be. I'm not saying that. The creator made this story this way. But for every Mike Tyson, do you know how many millions of men, and especially young black men and older black men, who never made it to even remain alive, especially in America with his type of background? And again, we're talking about the emotional instability, the fighting, the getting locked up, the sense of hopelessness, the sense of hopelessness. Well, don't you get up when you go to work to say, you know what, I'm working. I wish I didn't have to work, but you know what, I'm going to get that paycheck. He didn't have that. Did Mike Tyson ever work a job other than fighting? No. He can't relate to that. This is all he knows. And because this is all he knows, this is what's going to keep him dangerous in this fight with Jake Paul, even though he's 58 years old. See, this is what I'm saying. When I see two fighters fighting, and the reason why I love boxing so much, it's one-on-one. It's not a team, and you don't play boxing. It's been said that you don't. That's not my quote. I got a lot of guys say that, but I'm going to repeat it. Boxing is something that you don't play. You are getting hit in the head. Can you imagine? Your brain, you know what happens to a lot of fighters who get older and they're punchy, or they blow the money that they made, right? They're broke sometimes. Mike Tyson went through a period where he went through all that money. He was broke. When he lost his last fight, he was basically fighting just for the money. Things that he did just for the money. Now he is a successful businessman now. He has his, marijuana business, which is legal now in America once you get the right licenses and stuff. His name is going to help with that. He's made amends with Evander Holyfield. They're friends and business partners on so many different levels now. Mike Tyson is not supposed to be. I'm glad he is. And I hope you understand when I say that, what I mean. That for every Mike Tyson, and there are very few, it doesn't have to be just in boxing. It could be the guy who is a mailman. It could be a guy who maybe he did a little time and he came out and he's doing some kind of business. Maybe he's not making a lot of money. There are a lot of faceless Mike Tysons out here in the world. And we have to acknowledge them. We have to honor them because the odds were against them. And lots of times they made their own decisions that put them in those situations. So I'm not going to say, oh, well, it's not their fault. And a lot of these guys, look, I'm going to tell you, if you do the crime, you got to do the time. In society, yes. But what's the backstory? What's the backstory? With all of the things that Mike Tyson has done, if you truly understood what he came through, going to bed hungry, not having any food, getting beat up on, come home and your mother's prostituting. I hate to keep driving that point home, but that's one aspect from young. That's all you know. Your mama's drunk. So now you get into the substances. Mike Tyson, as great as he's been throughout his career, has had a drug problem. I guess the best time when he was free from the demons is when Customato was alive. And that's the white man who saw something in him and trained him not only in fighting, but on a I'm so emotional, I'm messing up, with philosophy and wisdom, and taught him how to be the ultimate fighting machine and taught him how to love himself. But see, when Customato died, I believe it was in November of 1985, Mike Tyson won his title in 1986. And because of the business of boxing, maybe he could have won it earlier. Maybe he could have won it at the age of 19. People knew who he was, and he had a great team behind him. The sound, the video clips, the promotion. And here's this soft-spoken young man who would come on the talk shows, but he was a beast. That was the promotion. But if you knew Mike Tyson from when he was coming up in the streets, you might not have liked him. What does this tell us, y'all? It tells us that we all not only can change. I don't want to say the word change. I want to say that we all can evolve, because the demons or what haunted us may still be there, but we have a broader scope of life to dilute those demons. See, the weak link in the chain is always going to be the weak link in the chain. I don't care how much you weld it and toughen it up. So I'm not saying you are that person that you used to be. If you were on drugs, if you did crime, if you were a streetwalker, whatever, you can evolve into something bigger. And to me, This is what this story is about, redemption. He's been redeemed in his personal life, but this fight in this event gives us a chance to understand it a bit more. So even if he loses, and I'm not even going to say, oh, he's going to win or he's going to lose. This is an emotional journey for me because I have my parallels with Mike Tyson. No, I never got into the drugs. No, I was never locked up. Handcuffs saw me a couple of times from smacking somebody up, but those things happen. I had a great home coming up. I thank my parents for that. But when you're thrown out into the world, regardless as to what you have in your home, trust and believe, the world is going to attack you. And I don't mean to say the world is a bad place, but for those of us who are raised to see the world as a wonderful place, Mike Tyson wasn't raised to see it that way. And if you told him it was, do you think he would believe it through his experiences? So here's a man who has come back to a sense of what we would say is normalcy. But what really is normal? What is normal in the world? Normal is that place we go to. I'm not just going to say it's just about a job, but from 9 to 5, whether your job is 9 to 5 or overnight, whatever it may be, we're supposed to be socially acceptable and act a certain way and carry ourselves a certain way, right? And then when you go home, you do what you do. And some people say, oh my God, the guy, I saw him on the job the other day and I asked him, how was he doing? He said, it's all right, but he went home and shot his brains out. I saw her just the other day and everything seemed to be just fine, but she died of a drug overdose. I didn't know she was on drugs. Look, people are going through things in this life. And the bottom line is that, we don't know what people are going through. That's the thing. We just don't know what people are going through. And so this is what Mike Tyson represents to many of us, whether we're a fight fan or not. That we all have challenges. We all have obstacles. We all have, and I hate to say the word problem. I've said that on my other broadcasts. And if you're new to this channel, if you're here for the first time, do me a favor. Do this old man a favor and subscribe to the channel. We talk about things that are uncomfortable, but real. We deal with things as they are. And when we have our live shows, we let everybody come on in and we have a roundtable discussion. It can't get any realer than that. So that's the whole thing. Let me put my credentials up here again in case you want to subscribe and reach out to me. Like, share, and subscribe. Want to reach out to me? Lance@Lancescurv.com. If you have anybody who you feel deserves an interview because of the phenomenal obstacles that they've overcome, that's my kind of thing. So this is why I'm here. Of course, like I told you, I'm a big boxing fan, but I'm a fan for somebody who has overcome in life. So if you ever want to come on and get an interview, and I don't care if you're famous or not famous, or you want to promote a business, you come on in, you reach out to me, and we're going to do it. And it's not going to take weeks or months to set it up. A lot of times if I'm sitting around for the afternoon with nothing to do and you call me, we can roll then and there. This is something that I live. This is not just something that I do. This is unscripted. I'm talking to you straight from the hip. Who does that? Because I've lived life also. You understand? So there it is right there. Remember that. And I will put this up later on as this ends. Well, it seems like they're giving shots to the arena, and I've watched this so many more times before. The lights flashing. They're showing the celebrities now. I know I'm getting up in years because some of these celebrities I don't even know. And if you're watching it along, but you have it where you can hear my voice, that's good too. But this is a scene that I'm used to down through the years. Could you imagine back in 1971 when my father took me to see Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, the celebrities that were with us? It's the same thing. Now it's just so many years later. And I have to thank boxing because boxing, even though I'm not a fighter, me and my friends, we would go to the gym and play around. I was more of a bodybuilder. I didn't like getting hit in the head. It means so much to me. Just like, what's his name? Larry Merchant used to be the HBO commentator. He's just aged out right now. He's a very much older. And I'm quite sure he has maybe some health issues or something, but he called boxing the theater of the unknown. And that's what it is. You never know. Here are two stories here. Look at Jake Paul, an actor in Disney, an actor. And he transformed himself to even be a fighter. And it's a gimmick. He's moved himself along. He fought older UFC fighters and built a name, but he is the master of promotion. See, now, even though some people may not like him, you have to admit that he has positioned himself to get paid $40 million tonight. You know how many fighters train all their lives, sacrifice all their lives, and maybe the biggest payday they get is $10,000. You know how many fighters are out here that are fighting, and people assume, well, you're a boxer, you're going to make a lot of money. Look, for every person, every real fighter, I'm going to say it that way because Jake Paul, he's a fighter, but he took a different route. Like I said, I believe he's on performance enhancing substances. I believe that. But this is an event. But look how he positioned himself. What does this tell you in life? Take what you got and make the most of it. See, so on both sides, this can be an inspiration. I know there are many people who want to see Mike Tyson win, and I'm one of them. But I don't hate Jake Paul because I've learned a lot from him. And what he has done, I already know in principle, but to see it play out in front of you is something that's amazing. That you can take what you have, market it, push it, and do more. So you can do anything in life that you want to do, even when you have challenges and obstacles, as long as you hold on. And I don't think his story was one of poverty. I don't think his story was anything near Mike Tyson's background. But the bottom line, he is where he is because he was shrewd in his thinking and he dared to be great. I'm not saying he's a great fighter, but he's great as far as a businessman is concerned, because like I said, when a fighter gets millions and millions of dollars in their purse, right? Think of all the fighters who never made it. They were fighting just to pay rent money. If they got even that much, they had injuries and no health care and had to end their career and go find a job. Maybe they didn't have any skills in life. Maybe they didn't go to school. Maybe they were broken. Maybe they were on drugs. You know how many guys are fighting? They work a job and they train and they fight, but they don't make much money. But you got a pregnant wife at home. That kind of pressure. It's not pressure because you love your wife, you love your child that's coming, but you as a man and you're a fighter, you're working a job, you're not making enough. And you're fighting in the hopes that you can make more, because when you start out fighting, you're not making much money. So this is a testimony to both of these men, but let's not forget, just like when you see, whether you believe in war or not, and you see veterans that come home and they're injured, they may not have a family structure. They end up homeless, but they're unappreciated and underappreciated. Excuse me, my throat. How's the song go? Let me clear my throat. But yes, they're going to come out soon, but this is the point where they kind of delay it to build the anticipation, because I just saw a shot of Jake Paul in the dressing room getting ready to come out. Mike Tyson has already been gloved up. I mean, I think about that, right? The adrenaline. Could you imagine like how Jake Paul feels? Not that I'm ignoring Mike Tyson, but Mike Tyson has been under the bright lights for such a long time. But Jake Paul is getting ready to go in the ring with a man who is older, 50 years old, damn near 30-year difference. But I don't care if Mike Tyson is 88 years old. You know, back in Orlando, Florida, I was born and raised in New York City, lived most of my adult years in New York City. Before time, I lived in Orlando, Florida, and I worked. Oh man, look at this. Netflix is having a problem. There must be so many people watching this thing. So I can't do any commentary if I can't see the fight. Wait a minute. I'm going to keep you entertained and keep on talking. I'm going to resume this now. Let's see if we can. This is amazing. This is amazing. Please excuse me if I can't see the fight. I'm quite sure that you'll hear about this. Even though I'm out in Ghana, West Africa, up in the mountains, I have Starlink straight to the satellite. So this is not my problem. This is not something that is the cause over here. Of course, up in the mountains, sometime when there's a bad storm, you can have a power outage, but everything is just as quiet as can be. It's nice weather out here, and all I hear is crickets. And for me right now, it's 4:58 a.m. I'm 5 hours ahead of the East Coast of the United States, where I was born and raised in New York City. So it keeps saying resume, but listen, folks, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to give it a second, and I'll just keep on talking. To be honest, this really sucks. This is not anything on a technical level on my side. I just think so many people are watching this, right? So many people are watching this. This is like burning a hole in the internet. If anything could, a Mike Tyson fight in 2024? Man, I couldn't believe. Imagine me, Muhammad Ali, being able to have a pay-per-view fight. No, I'm not pay-per-view. This is free, but you're getting the money, so it might as well be something else. I'm the greatest of all times. Imagine if I had a YouTube page. Imagine if I had a Facebook page. I'd be the greatest person online. I'd break the internet. Imagine if Muhammad Ali was fighting at this time. Imagine that. Ooh. Imagine we had a Muhammad Ali and a Mike Tyson fighting at this time. We didn't have technology back then. And so while I try to get back on and make a connection, because for some reason, I just think we broke the internet. I think this fight is, I'm hitting the resume button and it's not giving me anything. It's not my device, y'all. That may be happening with other channels that are trying to do a live commentary on the fight, but I try to keep it entertaining. The last fight that I did was Errol Spence. Oh God, I'm having a brain fart. Maybe I am getting old. I'm forgetting what's his name? Errol Spence lost. And folks liked it. And I said, okay, I might do it, because people were asking me, are you gonna do a live commentary? Now, mind you, I'm still trying to get on and they're ready to come out. That's a daggone shame. But you're gonna hear about this. I'm piped in directly to the satellite, so it's not where, let me see here. Let me hit this other button, but I'm hitting resume. But the videotape that they're showing is something that's already uploaded, so I'll be able to get that. So my internet connection is super strong. Elon Musk, thank you. Because the internet out here in this part of the world before, it was terrible. I wouldn't be able to do this smooth, but it's telling me to resume and it's not going through. So I don't know what's happening right now. Let me try to get on my computer. It's not my phone. It's going to be the same thing pretty much. My connection is strong, but I feel because so many people are tuning in that it's just flooding out. Isn't that something? We have all this technology now. And okay, let's see if I can sign in on the computer. Okay, hold on for a second, everybody. They're asking me for my email address. Which, okay. See, when you sign in on something, it usually pops up and you don't have to spell it out. But of course, right now, it's going to make me go through the whole thing. All right, let's get down to the password, which I'm not going to say out loud, of course, for obvious reasons. Okay, let's pump it in. Let's see what happens on the computer. We got to see this fight, y'all. We got to see this fight. This fight is so big. I would say that even though I've done fight commentaries, I did one back in 2016, I believe it was. Maybe 2016 or 2017. Sergey Kovalev and Andre Ward. I did that fight. I had 61,000 people watching that fight. I was like, wow. But nobody was doing it back then. Like I said, you can't rebroadcast the fight over YouTube because they will automatically knock you down. Okay, why is it saying that my password is not? It's always like that. Okay, let's try it again. I'm only going on the computer right now because on my other tablet that I was watching the fight on, it said resume, resume, resume. So I know it's an overload. And it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm in West Africa right now because I have Starlink. Come on, come on, come on. It's not even going through on the computer. Let's go back to my tablet. Let's see if we can get on. But yeah, I can't even say this is embarrassing. This is just a glitch in technology. And it says it's loading up, but it just goes back to a blank screen. What am I going to do, everybody? I tried my best. I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. It's not even me. You know what I mean? Daggone it. This is like you have a hot date when you're younger. You have a hot date. You got your new outfit. You went to the barber, which I shave off of my head now, but I'm not in that lane anymore. I'm not dating anybody. I'm a married man. But the bottom line is like you got the car cleaned and detailed, you know, tires, armor all, rims, clean, everything. And all of a sudden, there's a bad storm, and you're still going to go on this date, but you go out there and something happens with the car and it doesn't start. Oh, man. And on a more adult level, as a man, when it's time to perform, you know, things started out, but things didn't work. Womp, 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 womp. For everybody who's just coming on now, they should be walking down to the ring right now, and we're missing it. We're missing it because of the overload. Because everything was working along fine, but as soon, I'm quite sure there's a lot of people who at the last minute, you know, they signed up for Netflix. Like, I resisted it, but there's so many people talking about it. They're talking about it on my job. My little kid is asking me, am I going to watch the fight? The neighbors are talking about it. I don't want to go next door with them. I want to watch it myself. And a lot of people are watching it. And a lot of folks are going to get rid of the subscription after the fight's over because this is what they want to see. When I got Netflix, I'm an old school guy. I'm just used to putting on the TV, not even with cable. My subconscious mind goes back to the days when TV at 2 or 3 o'clock, you heard the national anthem and you saw all these colors and it went boop. And you had usually some sunrise, early morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning show with some kind of prayer, some kind of religious thing, some kind of news. Imagine that they had prayer. They had more religious programs on TV. Now they've removed all of that in favor of all these other things. I'm not going to get political. I'm not going to get, but we know the deal. Those of us who are old school. And I ain't old. There's a lot of juice left in my fruit. And that's what this fight represents. If Mike Tyson can not come back, but, you know, there's a natural going out into the pasture. Okay, let's see. Let's try again. It won't load. And I'm appreciative of you staying here with me. Because maybe if you go to another channel, it'll be the same thing. And I don't want to simulcast another person's channel. I don't know if that's something that I can do legally or not. But I want to keep it entertaining. And after this fight, regardless whether I see it or not, I want to be able to give you the blow by blow. I am just clicking this tablet to tablet. Say, why are you clicking on me so much? Try to see the fight. But the internet is overloaded. And that's one of the glitches in technology. It's not perfect. So let's hang in there and see. Let me flash my credentials across the screen again in case you do leave. You want to see the fight. You might go to another channel that can show it. I'm not mad at you. But if this is the only time you pass by and you're new here, here's my credentials here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm not asking for anything else, but let's make sure to subscribe to the channel. Help a brother out. Because the next big event that they have, whether it's on Netflix or not, I will pay for it and we'll do some more commentary. We'll do some more commentary. And I do have a studio built in that aspects of it are finished. Other aspects of it are not. I probably will do some things there. It's phenomenal. Most podcasters do not have it that way. And you know, the thing is right now, let me open up the comments. I have not been looking at the comments. Daxter Clark, Landon Price. Let me see who else. Indigo King, 1111. Oh man, this thing is kind of pissing me off because I want to show I want to see the fight so I can see what's happening. Even though, and Sweetberry in the house, I was doing so much running in my mouth that anybody else who's new here, if you want to come on into the chat room, you can do so. We have 298 people on the stream. We had up to about 305, and that's cool. That's cool. So let me take this down and show this photo. I'll leave this up for a while because folks are going to say, wait a second. He's not talking about the fight. I cannot believe this happened. Now, if this is, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to piggyback with somebody else's channel. You got to do what you got to do. I want to hear. I won't be able to see it, but let's see if I can hear something of what's going on. At least I can tell you if you're not in a position and you happen to be here. And I want to thank everybody for being here. Those who I know and those who I'm just meeting. If you're here just in the cut, it's okay. All right. There's a gazillion channels, but there's a channel that I'm going to go to that I know they're going to give good commentary. Let me see. Me being the boxing fanatic that I am. And again, I explain my reasons why. It's not just about boxing, but let's see. Let's see. Okay. This channel is not going to, let me see if they have it live. They should. Let me turn the volume down. I don't want to get in trouble with Mike 3. Okay, let me hear this a little lower. Oh, they're in the ring. Right? I'm going to repeat what he says. I have my own way of doing things, so I have to do this to bring it to you. Okay. It said Mike Tyson has a knee brace on. He did have a knee injury, I believe. That's that old man stuff. Round 2, 1 minute, 15 seconds. This guy's watching the fight. I keep it talking. Mike Tyson had to put his mouthpiece back in. It looked like it slipped out. Biting his glove. Okay, Mike's in the ring. Okay. Thank you, Landon. Giant Gang, welcome. I'm here trying to give a blow by blow, but 35 seconds, round 2, but it will not pick up. Okay, let's see something here. I know after the fight, when people hang up and cut off from it, it's going to come on. And then somebody's going to show the fight for free on YouTube, get the channel taken down probably. Round 2 is almost over. Seems to be going kind of slow. So there's something wrong with his mouthpiece. Detroit D-Town. Okay. Okay. Thank you for... Mike Tyson's not landing anything. But Detroit D-Town, thank you for sharing that. Other YouTube channels have had the same problem with Netflix. So it's not just me. I wouldn't set this up and be up at 5:11 a.m. in the morning in West Africa if I wasn't serious. All my stuff is good over here. I got Starlink, direct to the satellite. Everybody who's here, just like my friend here said, smash the like button. Okay, this is what it says. We're having problem connecting to Netflix. Please try again later or try alternative network connection. This is crazy. That's right. Hit the like button. Yo, hit the like button. Hit it over. Share it, share it, share it. Share it to people who are not even interested. Let's help a brother get his numbers up. This is my new channel. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to disconnect from Starlink. No, I'm not. That's the best thing. I'm not going to go with the local internet. But you know what? It's worth a try. Because these guys are not talking enough. Jake Paul landed big right. It's round 3 now. These rounds are going to go by fast. Jake caught him with a left hook. So it seems like there's a lot of inactivity with Mike Tyson. Jake Paul is doing all the action. Mike looks hurt. God, dog. Left by Jake Paul. So body shot Jake Paul. So Mike Tyson, you just showed up for a paycheck. And right and a left by Jake. Jake Paul's best round. I'm repeating what I'm hearing on the other channel because, like I said, I cannot get through. This fight's going to be over so fast. This is 20 minutes less than a full fight. Wow. Thank you, Cynthia Owens. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Cynthia Owens says, Lance, there are problems with Netflix. I'm watching a fight in New Jersey and they're showing the first fight all over again. Wow. Wow. Mike Tyson is in front of Jake Paul and he's gun shy. Yeah, this is. Yeah. Landon says Jake might win this one. Mike looking uneasy. It's a scary scene too. Wow. Okay, Dexter. We'll know what happens. And what I'll do, since this is not working out with many people here in West Africa and over, I just got a call. Another buddy of mine, not too far. I text him and he's like, we're not getting the fight. You know, come on, Netflix, you got to do better than that. But I do think it's because of the volume of people, no matter where you are. Wow. This is amazing. And now my Twitter feed is having problems because I'm broadcasting this on my Twitter. And for those who are on Twitter, follow me at Lancescurv X. You'll see Lancescurv, but it's Lancescurv X. All right. And we'll communicate there. That's where I'm going to do most of my social media commentary. Mike Tyson's not doing anything. Yeah. Slide tie. My buddy from so many decades ago, from back in the late 70s, he said, he's saying Mike is old. And it's not his fault, you know, but it was promotion too. Because when you saw the clips of Mike Tyson, you'll see a 2-second clip, slightly sped up. You're like, oh my God, he might be able to have certain spurts. He's not jabbing his way in. He's not. Yeah. Jake is going to outpoint him. This is a glorified game of tag. And again, you know, we had hopes on him, you know, giving us that shot in the arm, you know, the way old men feel when they take Viagra. They're young again for the time. They know it's not them, but you can't tell them anything. Wow. Anybody else out here watching this particular stream, wherever you are, let me know if you're seeing the fight or if you're also having problems. I know he didn't say. He's not throwing anything. Maybe he's waiting for the one punch. Wow. A buddy here said he looks like a Mortal Kombat selection screen. He's not doing anything. Elephant Shaka, welcome on in. We're having problems getting the fight. We had it. I was watching the previous fight with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. She had a terrible cut over her eye. But Katie Taylor won. Wow. Thank you, Cynthia Owens. Let's show what she said. You're saving me. You're saving my credibility. Thank you, Cynthia. She says there are so many Netflix clips showing different things. I think they don't want Mike to pull this off. Too many clips of different things. I'm staying up until I see the real results. Exactly. Tyson on fire this round. Okay, let's see if he's why is he biting his gloves though? Oh man. I can't fault him for not being able to perform. But I'm so glad this wasn't pay-per-view for what I'm hearing. They say Mike Tyson's legs are stiff. 58 years old. Well, because of this, I'm going to relegate myself to old man status. Any hopes of me having a flash of brilliance as a 61-year-old soon to turn 62, this fight took it away. Wow. Give us some commentary, Anna Shaka. Wow. Round 5. Thank you, Reese. Well, we can fellowship here and talk about it because we weren't going to see the fight anyway. But I was feeling it. You know, I said, let me let it flow with the words. Let me bring out the gift of gab. Let me just bring out all the points. So this particular broadcast still has some value because it's not like I'm just sitting here, Jake threw a left, Mike threw a right, whatever. You know what I mean? So the next time I do a fight, you know you're going to be entertained. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you. You know my intentions, and you know that's what it was. And I'm still hitting this button to see if I can get through. Okay, and they admit they're having problems. I paid my money, Netflix. You got to do better than that. Let's just see if we can get through again. We know we're all going to see it tomorrow. All the clips, they're going to put it out there. Or later on. 10 seconds, or 10 seconds left in round 5. Innovin Shaka says Mike looks tight. I'm going to put these across the screen so everybody else can see it. For those who are seeing it, help a brother out. I'll put these comments on the screen so we can see it. Again, for those who are just tuning in, we're having problems. So many people are having problems all over the world connecting to Netflix. Reese says, I want Tyson for the win. They're already at the end of round 5, right? So we got like 3 more rounds to go, and that's it. I have to get up early. It's already 5:21. I'm probably going to get up in 2 hours. I have something to do. And I want to say that I have some special stuff that I want to put out in the middle of the week. I'll say Tuesday, or rather Wednesday. Some of it, I may stream some things on Tuesday that will let you know what I've been talking about for the longest time. Phenomenal stuff happened in my life. And then Price says, Jake may stumble this next round, Mike catching them things. You just don't know. You know? I'm going to re-upload your comments, Cynthia, so people know what's going on. And it's not just me. I just want to know who wins. Then I'll sign off. I may talk a little bit afterward, but I'll do a reaction. I'll do a reaction video on this. It may not be live. Tomorrow sometime. You'll hear all the talk, but I'll do it in my own style. For the things that I see when I see the fight. Out of range and stiff, Mike Tyson. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. Thank you so much. Thank you for rolling with me. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You know, even though they took down the old channel, the spirit is still there. And the imprint of who I am and my energy, you know what it is. And it hasn't made me stop one bit. We're going in harder. And like I say, when I complete this studio all the way, in a few weeks, it's on and popping on so many different levels. Quality. I'm going to upgrade so many things. I'm not the kind of person to say what I'm going to do and don't do it. Things take a little. I want everything to be just right. It's looking good. Oh man, this is killing me. Not being able to see this fight. Let me put up this next banner so people know that this is what we're trying to look at. But things just worked out this way. Yeah. Cynthia, you're right. Well, you can say I'm old all you want, but the bottom line is I'm walking away with a $20 million check just to show up on my name alone. And that's chump change on what I used to make. But 20 million now is way more than what it was. But then again, with the US dollar being so weak, is it really? But still, it's $20 million. Shoot, I'll fight Jake Paul for $20,000. Right now, my bank account is a little something. I'll fight him for $2,000 and I'll beat him. No, Mike Tyson can't do it with training and what he knows. Much love, Cynthia. Much love to everyone who's here. And we're going to hang around for the result. Oh, the fans are booing the fight? Oh, man. And look, if he's not doing anything, Mike Tyson, well, what is Jake Paul not doing? Walk in and knock him out. See? So this is crazy. But see, this is why I never got too hyped. And I'm not backing out now. I spoke to you as far as what Mike Tyson represents, but he traded that in. And again, I'm not going to make excuses for Mike Tyson because I am a Mike Tyson fan, but I'm a fan of boxing more than anything else. You know, and this is an event. I can't be mad at him. He has given us so many great fight memories and a peek into his life that has been so tumultuous, a roller coaster ride. I'm not mad at him for getting paid. He traded in, you know, it's like trading in an old car. It has some value for the new car. Okay. You know, what's the trade-in cost of this car? Well, we give you $4,000 for it. Well, that's $4,000 you don't have to pay. That's what he's doing right now. And I wouldn't fault him right now because he knew he's a fighter. He knows what he has in the tank. Just distance, huh? Looks like regular people fighting, they say. Just two regular people fighting in the Publix or supermarket parking lot. That's crazy. That's crazy. For those who are just tuning in, just know that we have a problem tuning in on Netflix. Everything was going good and dandy. The fight before was clear, and as soon as it started to get to the videos and them getting ready to walk down to the ring, boom. Okay, let's see. It says watch live now. I hit it and nothing's showing up. Before it said resume. I thought by them saying watch live that there is a connection. Let's hit it again. Yeah, you're right, Reese. Reese says, can't believe Netflix is lagging. They knew people would be tuning in. Snot coming out of Mike Tyson's nose. Guy said, oh, he showed his butt cheeks. In the interview earlier on when he was interviewed by his son and he walked away, he had a jock strap on. You know, come on, man. Show the man. You know, Mike Tyson don't care. Martha Vineyard, yes, $40 million. I think it's the pray Roy Jones Jr. was dangerous because both were scary, hungry. This one both surviving and testing limits. Okay, definitely. All right. Thank you for that. I got $20 million to give my kids and they're all going to be happy. I'm not going to be involved in anything like this anymore because nobody's going to want to see me. They're going to say, hey, you didn't do anything because you're an old man. But you all knew that. You know what I'm saying? You all knew that I was an old man, so don't get mad. I'm cashing out. Give me that. Don King took enough of my money, and I had wives and lawsuits and stuff, and I sniffed a lot of money away. I'm not dissing Mike. I'm just saying. I'm not mad at him. So far, unless he comes through with a knockout, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. I'll conduct myself as an older gentleman about to collect Social Security next April. And the dreams of a resuscitated youth in streaks and spurts has been gone. I'll take my vitamins. I'll do my good walks. I'm not going to get into the heavy training. I'm going to train. When I get this weight room together, I'm going to train. I'm going to train as much as I could. Keep my strength up, But that older man who was in the neighborhood that you said, well, he might have been an ex-Marine or he was an ex-fighter. I don't think I would try him. Well, young guys are going to try you now because Mike Tyson didn't do much in this fight so far. Is it staged? Will Mike Tyson knock him out in the last round after not doing anything? When he said nice right by Jake Paul, before he said Jake Paul, I thought it was Mike Tyson coming back. I'm gonna save my gas tank to the last round. And I'm gonna try really hard and knock him out. So Jake Paul outpointed me, but I knocked him out. Who knows? Who knows? So they're not showing the clock on the screen anymore. They're calling it trash. I could have slept. But you know what? No. I'm glad to be here with you all. Okay. Netflix let me down. Netflix let everybody down. Netflix has to boost up something. Here I am on a live stream, promising to give you a blow by blow, promising to give you the talk, make you feel like you're there, even if you're watching the fight. I'm not a fight commentator, but I don't think I do bad. Yeah, people are pissed about the fight, Sweet Berry. See that? He's still getting paid regardless, of course. Because could you imagine if Mike Tyson is getting 20 million, Jake Paul is getting 40 million? Could you imagine what Netflix is getting as far as the subscriptions are concerned? And trust and believe, Netflix is going to have a downward tick. There are going to be people unsubscribing from this. I'm going to keep the Netflix. And Sweet Berry, yes, I will watch that movie soon. I've been so busy, the one you wanted me to watch. I had a little more downtime, but I've still been quite busy. There's some people I have to answer back. They send me messages, ask me questions, different things. And before this fight is over, let me flash my contacts. Just going to ask everybody who's not subscribed to this channel, subscribe. We're going to be doing all kind of things, and there are areas that I'm going to be branching out into. They're going to be very interesting. I'm not a one-way Charlie on social media. There's going to be so many more things from all ranges and all categories. I'm just setting up for that. And creatively, I'm in a very good place, and I'm very happy. So also hit Lancescurv.com if you don't know about what I do, because there's a lot of new people here. Go to my website, Lancescurv.com. Save it to your mobile device. Used to have an app, but the app company went out of business, and I wasn't going to pay all that money again all over. I had it for 10 years. But Lancescurv.com works the same way as an app. If you save it to your home screen on your phone, right? You hit it, you'll be right there. Because we upload and we do live shows every single day. And there's a lot of written articles there and artwork also. This fight. Mike Tyson just showed up. Unbelievable. I tried, y'all. I tried. I'm like that old man with the young girl. Sorry, baby. I'm sorry. I am old. You knew that. That's okay. Pay my rent money. I'll keep it decent tonight. On Monday nights, we have Brother Metamorphosis. We go deep on his topics, phenomenal stuff. Sunday evening, 7:30 on Sunday, we have the Muslim Streets with Brother Malik Aziz. Okay, I guess the fight is over. Fight's over, right? Okay. This is ridiculous. Oh, wow. Cynthia Owen says, I just went back to Netflix and they're asking for donations to gain access to the full fight by clicking on a link. That explains why there were so many problems with Netflix. That explains, God. They're going to turn around and ask for donations? Even I haven't asked for donations. I don't even usually ask. But Netflix is asking for donations. Well, guess what? I'm going to ask for donations. This is crazy. I had nothing to gain from this. This is just from love. But you know what? Cash App, PayPal, Lancescurv Live. $1, $2, whatever. I'm a purist, y'all. I didn't put this thing in, so give me money. No. I pay my little money for Netflix like anybody else. And they're going to ask for donations? This is cruel. This is cruel. I'm gonna try to get a little coffee money from off of this Netflix farce. Now the fight, I guess the fight's over. I can't even see it. This is crazy. Yeah. Rest in peace, Netflix. I'll keep it because I'm way out here in West Africa, 40 minutes outside of Accra. And YouTube has a lot of stuff. And I do have YouTube Premium because of what I do. You know, I want to keep up with everything without the ads and be able to see stuff and everything. That's part of what I do. This is my hobby. Well, it is what it is, everybody. I don't even have to wait for a decision. It's done. But Netflix really embarrassed themselves. I can't even, look, even I'm apologizing for this. I'm apologizing for it. But I can't. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. No way. Willie D's doing a live commentary. Great. Fight's over now. So I will do a reaction video after watching the fight. You know, and I might take myself on into the bed right now soon. I just want to hear a little bit more of what's going on. But some people have it that way where they watching it. But for them to turn around and ask for donations, come on, y'all. Come on. That's like you buying a brand new car for somebody. And they say, well, I can't park it in the street. Could you buy me a house? Come on. Be appreciative of what you're getting, Netflix. Unbelievable. So they're saying it's a moral victory because Mike Tyson didn't get knocked out. It was a hustle. And Mike Tyson knew this, I guess. All that talk. The best part of this was the buildup. The best part of this was the commentary and the antics leading up to the fight. The best part was the talk before the fight. Just like a lot of older men do. They talk a good game. They can't produce. Instead of admitting your best years were behind you, you know, you knew you couldn't produce, right? But it was a thrill to talk the stuff that you used to talk years ago and hope you get lucky and have a good night. Yes, Cynthia Owens, have a good night. Good night, Lance, and the rest of the family. I guess I'll go to Willie D's channel and see what he has to say. I have no problem with that. Thank you for even being here. And this is going to be all over the place. You're going to hear them trashing this fight. You're going to hear so much. I don't even want to put up the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul banner anymore. I'll just leave it like this. Keep in contact with me, everybody, if you're not in contact with this channel. There's 308 people in the stream right now. It should be like that normally, right? When this channel builds up again, because this is a new channel, but the support in the algorithm, just from you being here, I appreciate. So I'm going to really wrap off now. This is, I need to get some sleep. I have a brunch to go to, and there are going to be some prominent speakers there. And I promised, and I want to go, but I want to get my rest a little more because I'm going to have to be up in another Oh, really? I'm going to be out of here in 2 hours. So am I going to sleep? I don't think so. Let me get myself together. I'm going to lay down for about an hour, get up, and go on with my day. But I'm going to try to, definitely going to record that particular event and brunch and random stuff, some shorts, some live streams. I might live stream it. The positioning is right. It's going to be in a restaurant, Afrikiko, for those who know it. It's down the block from the Jubilee House. And we have a big event that I'll be recording, and I might stream it. I have to see how things are set up. But at this event on Tuesday, the press will be there. Okay, the Ghanaian press will be there, but I will be the official, unofficial press by a group that is affiliated with this particular event. And it's a big surprise for me to celebrate when you see this. So I'm not going to say exactly what time it's going to be because I have to go there early. I have to set up, but it's going to be something that personally you will see why that this is a victory for me. And it's a victory for me to come back and do the things that I do, because I'll be doing a lot of stories here, events here. I'm connected to the right people, and nothing will stop what I'm supposed to do here now. There were some obstacles along the way, but you know what? We overcome it and we're going to shine. So whatever's going on here in Ghana, I will be right there, boots on the ground. But this one here on Tuesday is going to be not just a big surprise. It's not a surprise thing. It's just a thing to say, hey, you got there to that country and you got to this level. And I have a lot of good people who are looking out for me. And I appreciate them, and the content is going to go through the roof. And I'll be boots on the ground because pretty much for the last maybe 3.5 years, I've been laying low, laying low. Those who know the story know, but those who tried to stop things, they're going to be crying now. They're going to look stupid now because now the comeback is here. But I got to say it like LL Cool J. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, decades, y'all. So anyway, listen, I'm going to sign off. Subscribe to the channel, like the presentation, even though Netflix let me down, right? Wasn't my fault, y'all. Yeah, you're right, Sweet Berry. I'm going to see. Okay, yeah, thank you, Cynthia Owens. Yes, tomorrow, yes. And it's a few hours for me. And I'm not going to say exactly what time. This event is supposed to start at 11 today. And it's today for me. For some people on the West Coast, you're still in Friday, but it's Saturday for me. But Tuesday, don't know the time I'm going to put it up because I have to get there. But this is something that means something personal to me. And it doesn't get any better. I've been hinting at this for a long time, but you will see on Tuesday. And I'm very, 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 very happy. So me going through what I went through and to get to this status shows you that there is a creator, there is a God. And I'm happy about that. So anyway, let me sign off, everybody. I know this is going to go on and on and on because it's much earlier in America, in the US right now. So you'll see the videos, you'll see clips. People are going to trash Mike Tyson's name, but I can't get mad at him. It's a business move. It's an event. But all of those clips of him training and looking like a monster and a beast, well, it is what it is. Just be careful what you purchase in the future as far as pay-per-view, which I don't really do that anymore. But for this one, Netflix is inexpensive. The fight was free. So look, if the restaurant is giving away free food and it's nasty, can you really get mad? That's the question that I have for everybody. It's free food, but it didn't taste so good. I was real hungry though. It's like Eddie Murphy said, those regular crackers taste good when you don't have Ritz crackers. Anyway, much love to you all. Take care. Lancescurv out. I will see you on the next one in a few hours. Remember, we upload and we have live streams every single day. So make sure to subscribe. Peace out, y'all. The sun is coming up and the moon is looking nice right now. And I'm starting my day shortly. Much love to you all. Stay safe. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Hello, this is Martha. Actually, today I got to meet my friend Lance. Yes, I got to meet my friend Lance. This is my first time meeting him in person, and he's a very kind man, seriously. I do talk with him on phone, on WhatsApp, but I've never got to meet him. But today, it's just extraordinary. He's very, anything you want to know about life, anything you want to know about just human, anything you want to know about life, please. YouTube, Telegram, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media channels, you got to find him there. He's very inspiring. He's very positive. If you want anything positive about life, please subscribe to Lancescurv. And then every day you got to see different videos, different talks, different topics about life. See you.